Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Duke's Rib House and Grill, 1910 Cochran Road, 15220 at the Manor Oak Shops, right next to Max and Irma. Thanks for everybody for coming out. We appreciate it. Nice summer day here. No rain so far. Even Smokin' Jim made it just before we started here. We got Devin Shea on the cameras and all the control. We got a PA system so they can hear us out in the street finally. So we appreciate that, Dave Cable. We're giving you this new view where we have our backs to the audience and they get to eat and make faces and have some fun there. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. I got Smokin' Jim Frazier here. I want to thank everybody for watching us on Verizon 32 everywhere in the Pittsburgh area, from Nemacolin all the way to Cranberry, Wexford, and all the points in between. Thanks again to everybody in Bethel Park. Ran into a bunch of people on Comcast 7. They said they loved the show, Smokin' Jim. Can't wait to hear your next What's on Your Mind. Neither can I. I want to tell Jim Auger, we just hit a brand new world record, 4,644 likes. That's our new Pittsburgh Sportsline record. We even have new fans here that said they're going to like our show. So they found out it's a TV show. I won't mention her name. They thought it's radio. Smokin' Jim, 99% of the people think we're on radio. Any radio stations, we're ready to be picked up at any time. Not a problem. Instead, just watch us on TV. We're all archived. All our 300-some shows are archived on YouTube. And you can see us on Bethel Park every Tuesday night through Saturday night on Verizon 32, 7 o'clock to 8, and other times throughout the week. Same with Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. We always start our show with What's on Your Mind, and we're sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski's Skeets Service Station. Don't forget to give him a call. You'll see the graphics go along the bottom here. He's easy to find in Finleyville, a few miles from Bethel Park. Again, thanks Skeets Service Station for sponsoring What's on Your Mind, and we're going to start What's on Your Mind right now. Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine, and if you want the green,
there you go.
You got to see Levine.
Don't break the pen.
Levine is living the dream, the American dream of empty cans and spray tans.
Hold it, disclaimer right off the bat. This man is prejudiced. This is all natural sun right in Bethel Park on my deck while I'm sipping green tea for the next edition, which he loves, of Healthier, Happier You. So whatever he says after this, it may not be true.
I want to thank the owner, Reddy and Kelly, for having us back once again. Please take care of your bartenders and waitresses. And if you haven't done so already, do yourself a favor. Grab a menu, because 2 weeks ago I had the best ribs I ever had in my life. Big hand for international master photographer Bill Boyce and his beautiful models here.
Take a photo while we're on air. And he's talking.
In the house we got former state champion, 3-time national champion at the University of Connecticut, first round draft choice of the WNBA. Big hand for Ashley Battles is in the house.
Smokin' Jim, she just dropped in to visit. How about that?
Ain't that something?
Yeah, she stopped in to visit.
Hey, listen, LeBron James is the beast of the East. He bowed to Jim Brown. He bowed to another NBA championship loss. He bowed to the Golden State Warriors. What good is a warrior without a war? Golden State has the babyface assassin, and his name is Stephen Curry. In fact, Caitlyn Bruce Jenner got more hair on her face than Curry has. Hey, listen, Stephen Curry is the reigning defending NBA MVP. He's the reigning defending NBA champion. He's a world beater, he's an overachiever, and he's a repeater. Hey, listen, Golden State will repeat next year. Listen, Golden State will go on and become a three-peat, because dynamite comes in small packages. And LeBron James will not lose 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 NBA championships.
Thanks, Smoking Jim Frazier. I only have 2 things on my mind. The first one is the Bucks win 8 in a row, then they lose 3 in a row. So before my co-host or anybody else on the show for tomorrow night would bring it, I figured I'd bring it up first. Baseball's how many games, Smoking Jim?
162.
That's the one thing I educated my friends about baseball on the show. Other than that, they don't believe in the Buccos. I still believe in the Bucks. That's not what's on my mind. They're not playing tonight. They'll have Cincinnati in for the next 3 games, Smoking Jim. They will not get swept. What's on my mind is Pete Rose. All these people talk about, that guy's innocent. There's no way he should have signed that paper. He didn't gamble on baseball while he was a player manager. Now, these records have been hidden to the public since like 1986. I posted on Pittsburgh Sportsline, Smoking Jim, just for you, because you're a known gambler. I do not condone gambling. If you don't gamble, don't start. And if you're listening to this and you're under 18, don't even think about gambling unless it's a friendly bet with Smoking Jim. Anyhow, they have his notes and his notebook from his bookie, and it showed him betting baseball every day while he was a player manager. And in baseball, they have a rule that they started back in 1919, and even before that, you weren't allowed to gamble on baseball. They bet on horses, they bet on football, they bet on snails, but you can't bet on baseball. So that's called like a cardinal sin that he broke. And that's why Pete Rose will never be in the Hall of Fame. And that's what's on my mind. We have a lot of great guests coming up next, and we're going to start bringing them up right now. Smoking Jim, this is one of our featured guests who you booked over a month ago. She made it all the way from Ohio. I can't introduce her properly because you're the Hall of Fame guy who had 1 vote. So why don't you introduce this young lady?
I don't know how we got her to come here. Former high school All-American, 3-time Big Ten champion at Ohio State, and she was the first person voted in the city of Pittsburgh Hall of Fame. Big hand for Brandy Hogan!
Hello, thank you.
Brandy, welcome to our show.
Thank you, I'm glad to be here.
I'm honored that you drove. We'll look at the camera. Try to take a photo when I'm not talking.
Okay.
This is on air, so we just let it roll.
Got it.
And to come all the way from Ohio, tell them where you came from.
I came from Columbus, Ohio, Buckeye Nation. 2.5 hours away, so not a bad drive at all.
This might be our new world record for driving in to be on our show. Tell them your name, because I can't hear. I only heard Brandy, and now I'm deaf.
I'm Brandy Hogan. I was a former Buckeye and Perry Traditional Academy graduate.
That is awesome. And I met you for the first time at a jam-packed Blue Line Grille.
Yes.
And it was so overflowing with people. We were supposed to interview people, but we couldn't even get the cameras out of the bag.
Yes, it was a wonderful turnout. The very first annual Hall of Fame ceremony. So I was very honored and gracious and grateful to be there and to be invited. And it was wonderful. I was surprised so many people came out to the very first one.
Well, I knew you had the inside track when he said you were the first pick. No pun intended. He has the only vote.
That was pretty good.
I'm usually like that, so we try to put them out there. And it's just great to have you here. And normally I ask people what sport they like.
Sure.
But I'm not even sure if we can nail one down. You're such a great athlete.
I do. I like a few different ones right now.
How did I guess?
Yeah. I like basketball right now.
Okay.
I did not watch all the games, but my son, I have a little boy who's obsessed.
How old is he?
He's 7. So I have a
You should have brought him. It's not a school night.
Well, they're with Dad in South Carolina on vacation. So.
We won't discuss that.
Yeah.
So basketball's your sport right now.
I love basketball, and the reason is because my son forces me to know all the facts about the basketball players, draw the basketball players, print off basketball players so he can color them. So he's teaching me stuff. I know some of the spouses' names and the kids' names, all because my 7-year-old is obsessed.
Basketball wives.
Who knows? It might be a revolving door there.
Yeah.
You have to watch that.
He shoots all the time.
And he plays?
He does play. He's in a bunch of clinics, and he actually has a basketball court now in his backyard that his dad got him.
Wow.
So he's serious. He means business.
That's good. Now back to your business.
Yes.
What other sport would you watch depending on the year?
I love to watch the Olympics.
Okay.
I still like to watch all the sports in the Olympics. I like to watch track.
Of course.
I have a lot of fun watching that. It's amazing how just in the last probably 5 years, how much quicker the girls have become.
Sure.
And I was asking my dad about that. Like, these kids are much faster than we were. Like, much.
Well, when did you start with track?
I started track when I was about 12 or 11.
We'll ask your dad.
Okay. I'm looking back at him like, I don't know. 10.
Okay, now that we got
Final
that,
answer.
thanks, Dad. And that's another legend from Pittsburgh, Mark Hogan.
Yes.
So, shout out to him. He remembered my dad as a basketball referee. Wouldn't foul him out of a game for some reason. My dad liked the shorter guys.
Yeah, my dad was, I think, All-City, and he actually went to the NFL, played University of Tennessee, so I get that athleticism from him.
And Bill Bates.
See, that's our NFL scout and historian, Smoking Jim Frazier. He's not just a ladies' man. He just doesn't take photos with sweeties. We have this argument that he's always taking photos for Pittsburgh Sportsline. I'm still not seeing it. Because it wasn't with the sign, wasn't with me. You know it's his show, don't you?
One of my favorite.
I thought it was both of your shows, so.
No, because that's usually what he says. A little bit of humor.
One of my favorite college plays of all time was when Herschel Walker ran over Bill Bates. But
Well, have you heard of Willie Galt?
Yes.
oh yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
so
Another
my dad,
Tennessee
like,
guy.
he played
Yeah.
ball with him too, and apparently he used to get me, is that the guy who got me t-shirts and stuff?
Wow, Willie Gold.
We should have had
Yeah.
we should have your dad on the show.
I was a
Maybe
campus baby, so I came back to Pittsburgh. I got here yesterday, and my aunt said, "Do you know you were a campus baby?" So I was a campus baby at my mom's college. She went to Wilberforce, and my dad's school down in Tennessee.
Really?
See, we're learning some history about you.
A lot of the Olympians, the women that were on campus, the track girls, used to watch me.
Get
Some of
out.
them became Olympians.
That is great.
Yeah, so I was destined.
You weren't forced to participate in
No, I
track.
actually loved it. We were just talking about it with Ashley, how we were in the same grade. We both went to the same elementary school, Manchester Elementary School.
And that's Ashley Battle.
That is Ashley Battle. That is the Ashley Battle.
She may be on TV behind us, photobombing us.
Yeah. So the Ashley Battle, the basketball star, we both started our sports basically in elementary school.
And you're still friends with her after all these years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for
We
coming
got
out, too.
reconnected on Facebook. So,
See, Facebook has some good things, Smoking
Yeah,
Jim.
it does.
but Mr. Manfredo was the gym teacher, so he got us involved. We had to do a race. Mr. Manfredo had everyone in the school race. I won. Then I got to run in some random track meet, and then I told my dad, "Hey, I think I may be pretty good at this." So my dad got me connected to a track team, River City Elite, with Coach Alonzo Webb, who's now
Wow.
the head coach at University of Pittsburgh, and it was awesome.
That's great. See, we pulled that out of you without much difficulty.
Good.
And if you ever move back to Pittsburgh, we would love to have your son at Gateway.
Okay.
Right now, a little disclaimer there. They're not doing that well,
Okay.
so he's trying to rebuild the movement out of the neighborhoods.
Is it high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some time.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't move right away. See how his old team does.
See how he does. Okay.
He's strong in the neighborhood, but we've done some research. Mario Tempest has been the Gateway, finds no records of him. And he also has been to Cal U and has found no records. So We don't really know who Smoking Jim is.
There's no evidence that he was burned.
No, but at least you're friends with him, so we respect that.
Yes, he's great.
Now, what other sport would you follow? Anything else? Because you covered a lot of interesting sports already.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it right now.
You don't follow football at all?
Not as much.
Since you moved from Pittsburgh.
I don't think I'm allowed to go back home and would be welcome back to Columbus if I said I didn't watch the Buckeyes. So I do watch the Buckeyes.
All right, because this will be on YouTube.
Oh, God.
So it'll be on TV as early as Wednesday.
Okay.
And then since we're friends, I'll put on when you go on the show, and I'll post that on your page.
Oh, God.
And then you can just watch that part. This is good. Look at that smile. You've been a great guest. Anything else you'd like to bring up?
Absolutely not. No, I appreciate you guys having me. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Pirates.
Bucko talk.
Bucko talk. They had a nice run.
8 in a row.
21-5.
In May.
And then they have the bad weekend, but that's to be expected.
And you're a baseball fan for your whole life?
My whole life, I used to go to games when I was 4 and 5 years old.
Now, you understand that. I'm trying to teach some co-hosts. He doesn't seem to understand that.
Understand what?
Streaks, hidden
There's
vigorous.
only been 29 perfect games. How are we supposed to expect that?
24 perfect games, my friend. 24.
The only,
And I got the verification
I
by
would say
two
the
sources.
Probably the only disturbing game of the whole weekend was Charlie Morton, who has always been so up and down.
Right.
5-0 and perfect, and then 9 runs in an inning. I hope that's not a sign.
He had to get that out of his system.
I hope.
Just like when the Steelers go through a streak, like he's an NFL scout, 16 games, and they lose 3 in a row. Guess what? They'll never win a game again.
No, that's
then
not
they
true.
win one, and he goes, they're going to the Super Bowl.
So the Super Bowl.
So what are they drinking?
Yeah, because right now, I think pitching-wise, the Pirates are pretty good with Garrett Cole and A.J. Burnett and Mariano. I hope Morton can
come back. Ground chuck and a little ground ball thing again.
Jeff Locke is always what Jeff Locke is.
Well, we need some innings out of those guys, 5, 6, 7 innings. Then the bullpen, has been pretty good.
Oh, the bullpen's been outstanding. Isn't Melanson the #1 save guy?
He is the number 1 save guy
He'll
in
be in the
baseball.
All-Star team,
But
and
the Pirates
Garrett
really
Cole.
don't have much talent here. Smoking Jim, right? He's a baseball guy.
They got one piece of talent that I'm afraid is going to be gone soon, and that's Neil Walker. Yeah. He's having a bad year.
That happens.
But he's had 5 very good years, and people are already writing him off. And I had wished that they would have already signed him long term. I don't think they're going to now because I think his agent has already told him what he's going to make in the open market.
Sure.
And it's going to be a lot more than here.
He's not giving a Pittsburgh discount.
Well, not at this point.
No.
McCutchen kind of did when he signed that long-term contract a while back.
That was good for both of them, though.
And I thought they should have done the same with Walker at the time, and they didn't. And I think they're going to lose him after next year, and I think they're going to miss him. I mean, last year, 23 home runs out of a second baseman is unbelievable.
Right. No, that's
I think
good.
last year he only committed 2 errors. I mean, the one complaint is he doesn't have enough range.
Right.
He doesn't get to some
Well, he
balls.
was a catcher.
But the balls he gets to, he gets.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
But I think they're going to be fine. Whether they can catch the Cardinals, I don't know. I think there'll be a wild card again. The Cardinals are just a machine.
Right. Well, who would think?
How do you lose Adam Wainwright, who's the best pitcher in baseball, and your pitching staff didn't lose a beat?
Right.
That's unbelievable.
And 4 other players.
Yeah, I mean, they've been having a lot of problems, and they just seem to keep cranking it
Well,
up.
sometimes the baseball gods even that up.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Well, yeah.
Because we were as hot as could be, and we gained, 2 games, then now we're back to where we were before.
Now, the other guy I kind of think I'm giving up on at this point is Pedro Alvarez.
No way. That's his favorite player.
220 doesn't cut it. He can't play in the field. He was terrible at third. He's terrible at first. If they have an opportunity to trade him to an American League team, I think Pedro would be a great designated hitter. I think the fielding gets in his brain.
Yeah, but would they want a designated hitter they're going to put in the 6th position? Because he can't bat in the 4-hole.
I think
That's what bothers me. What's going to happen there?
You get away from the fielding, I think they could put him to clean up.
Really?
If he just came off the bench and hit. But I don't think he fits into the Pirates' plans for much longer.
Yeah, well, they have him this year and another year.
Yeah, well, they got to do something.
Just like with Walker, he gets another year
He
here.
gets another year. Yeah.
So he's not completely gone, Smoking Jim. Don't
No,
give
neither
up
one
on
of
him yet.
I mean, I had high hopes for Alvarez. When he
Yeah.
led the league in home runs 2 years ago, I was
I was
Excited.
skeptical of him when they didn't send him down to the minor leagues again, and he was struggling. They kept him up here in the majors to season him, and I think attitudes and things would have changed.
Exactly.
He may have been a better ball player right now.
now. You got a couple other guys we could talk about though. How about Marte?
Oh,
This is like another McCutcheon. Those two guys,
yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
And this kid from Korea has turned out to be a big surprise.
Kung.
Kung, Bang, Gong. You know, I think they call him Gung, but it's spelled Kang. But there's another guy on another team that's spelled Kang, and they call him Kang. And he's from Korea. Is it a different county?
That's interesting. We're going to have to delve into
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna have to look into
Rick,
it.
that's why you're on this show.
We're going to get the Cracker Jack, research department.
I'm going to put Smoking Jim on
That's
it.
it.
Because
Cracker
not only is he
Jack
an
research
NFL
department.
scout, he loves baseball for one game.
I'll call
A year.
Hines Ward.
I
He'll
love,
straighten it out.
I love baseball forever, all the time. You know, some people say that baseball is slow, and I don't think so because every pitch there's all the strategy. What's the pitch? What's the catcher doing? What's the base runner going to do?
Right.
What's the manager flashing out from the dugout?
Who's going to win the pierogi race?
That I can.
That's important.
I would like to get rid of the pierogi races and all the music in between the innings and go back to watching a baseball game, but that's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Well, you can't. You need that because a lot of these people, like young guys like Smoking Jim, never followed baseball. They're distracted. They need to see somebody shooting hot dogs up in the air. He goes, "What's that?"
Well, the parrot's okay. I kind of like the parrot. But
Yeah, parrots.
I used to go to about 5 or 6 hockey games a year, which can be expensive.
Yeah,
And they blast the music so loud that I refuse to go to a hockey game.
and you're a musician.
But it's just loud. I mean, I'm there to watch a hockey game. You know,
Now that's a good
not
point.
To listen to
He loved it though. It distracted him.
Oh,
Then he goes, "This game's so boring. We got tickets last year to go, and we
So
stayed
hockey
like
game.
no baseball.
Oh,
We're
baseball.
flipping between things.
Yeah.
That's my rhythm.
Hockey, he's
how about
definitely
all three of
not.
the sports now have the raffle?
I saw that.
50-50 raffle.
That's one of the highlights of his night when he goes to the game where they have a
I buy the
raffle.
raffle tickets now, and I'm sitting there. Come on, come on, come on!
And then-
Damn, I didn't win.
And you won't leave early now.
No.
It keeps you
I
there.
got to stay and see if I won.
Well, that's why he stays at the Steeler games a little longer
Well, I love
too.
the Steeler games.
you?
Last year, my wife, as a birthday present, bought me a half a Steeler season ticket from a client. And I got the same thing again this year, and we had a ball. My son flew in from California for one of the games. I took my daughter to a game. I took one of my friends to a game. We had a good time. And
that's
now my
great.
son and I are doing a weekend in September because he went to Penn State, and I could never go to a game. It was always on a Saturday. I was
Right.
always busy. We're going to do a Saturday night Rutgers game on September
You're
19th
kidding.
together, and then the next
At
day
Penn State?
At Penn State at night, and then we're going to do the San Francisco 49er game at 1 o'clock at Heinz Field. We are going to have a riot.
You got a Purcell sports doubleheader.
Well, I wanted to turn my son into the same kind of sports guy as me.
How's
I
that?
did.
You?
I mean, he lives in California. We watch Steeler games. Thank God for cell phones. Every other play. Did you see that? Did you see that? I don't believe that. You know.
I used to do that with my dad. I have fond memories.
Through the whole game.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
When I wasn't sitting with my dad who lived in Pittsburgh,
Right, yeah.
you know, we'd be on the phone like the NBA championships. Since he was a referee, he'd be like, "Did you see that walk? Did you see the goaltending?"
Well, wait a minute. In the NBA, they walk all the time.
Bingo. He was constantly on the phone.
They don't call them anymore.
No, definitely.
I remember we had a CBA team here years ago.
An ABA?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a continental
Piranhas.
basketball.
Oh, yeah,
And
going
they
back.
played down at Duquesne.
Yeah.
And my dad and I went. This had to be like 15 years ago. And 5 minutes into the game, they called a guy for traveling, and my dad said, "Wow, we're watching basketball again."
Yeah, you don't see that much. What's your favorite sport, though? Baseball?
I'd say baseball and then football.
Steelers.
But I love hockey too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
three. But baseball, I became such a fan as a little kid. My grandparents would take me, my parents. I guess when I was 6, 7 years old, my dad said I would look at the box score, and then I would look at the batting averages, and I would get everybody's current batting average because it was
Really?
never included from the night before. So I'd get a piece of paper out.
You start ciphering.
So I'd cipher like Jethro. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. You got that. Some people don't get it. That's just a little bit of humor.
Yeah, Jethro Bodine, my favorite TV character.
Yeah, there you go.
Someday
See, we cover everything. Sports,
Oh, it
Beverly
doesn't matter.
Hillbillies.
Yeah.
How about some music? You're a great
music?
musician.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
appreciate when I'm at different shows that you're
Yeah.
doing. It's always a
Music
pleasure.
business is getting to be more and more of a challenge every year.
Sure.
I'm fortunate I stay kind of busy, and I still mostly stay in the private parties,
Sure.
which pay better, and even though they say clubs are steadier gigs, they're not, because the clubs come and go so fast.
Sure.
You know, I do some club work, but it's mostly private. Like this month, I was very fortunate. I had a 12-piece band up at Rolling Rock Club in Ligonier a couple weeks ago for a
That's
big party
great.
there. And the other night I did a 12-piece band at the Fox Chapel Golf Club for their men's invitational. So that'll keep me off the
I know
streets.
you run your own business and you're blessed to be a musician that's working
Yes.
most of the time. And I didn't do this before, but how should they get a hold of you? Is there any way that you would want people to get a hold of you? Because I recommend him highly.
Oh.
He's one of the best. He even puts 12-piece orchestras together.
Well, I don't know. I'm on Facebook,
Okay.
Rick Purcell. I'm the only Rick Purcell in the white pages. The other ones
Okay.
are Richard Purcells. If I gave my phone number, it's not going to remember, are they?
Yeah, they might. I always have people.
412-276-9507.
And since I'm deaf from smoking, Jim, please repeat. Rick Purcell at 412.
276-9507.
And
And I do everything. I'll do the 12-piece band, an 8-piece, a 6-piece. Sherry Richards and I do duos. Jessica Lee and I do duos. I do solo piano work, solo keyboard work.
I've seen you in many different venues,
Yeah.
and he just is a great entertainer,
Thank you,
musician,
Alan. Thank you.
and I appreciate it all the time.
You know what I'd rather do?
What?
I wish I was a sports writer. So
You
I could
told
go to
me
the
that.
game every night.
For free.
That would be better than being a musician. But the music isn't bad.
Yeah, it's been a
fun.
good career.
It's been a good
Well, I
career.
want to thank you for coming out
Thank
on
you.
a Monday night, talking
Always a pleasure.
sports.
All right, great
All
job,
right, man.
Rick.
Always a pleasure.
Well, you take care.
right.
Good luck to you. And you don't have far to travel. He lives in Mount Lebanon.
So-
We've never really talked on air, so I got your name. You know, it's a sports show.
Yes.
Do you follow any sports?
Not much. I'm not very much of a sports person, but I do watch baseball. Baseball. I
Do you?
watch.
Well, we got a
And
theme
I
of
watch, And I
baseball.
watch. There's an Ellen Levine show that I really enjoy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Yes. Yeah, he's very
So
entertaining.
you're another one of our fans that's not really a sports fan, but you watch it for entertainment.
But,
I want to
yeah.
thank you. I
thank you.
appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Now, you do all kind of things. I've seen you and your brother play in different venues over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard you on the radio doing poems. I've read
Yeah.
I've read your poems in the Post Gazette for years. Never told you this. You know.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
and
that.
I've done it
Thank
for
you.
a long time and appreciate the work and effort you do. Now, you can confirm any of this stuff and tell us how you got started into, music, poems, and because it's a form of entertainment the way I see it.
Yes, with the music first, I got started in 1964 when I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. That was it. I said that's something that
You
I
could
would
do.
love to do.
You want to do it.
You know, I picked up the broom and I emulated them, and I started practicing things.
That means he copied from them, Smoking Jim. I have
What's
to
that?
translate.
What's that?
Emulate. I don't want to pull the dictionary out twice on the show. It means like he copied you. So we try to keep it
Yes.
very
Okay.
simplistic, but you could use whatever verbiage you want. I'll translate. I'm enjoying it. So 64 is when you got started.
I was 7
'Cause you-
years old, and it's ironic, Ellen. They had a talent show. I went to St. Francis de Sales, a Catholic school. They had a talent show,
Okay.
and I bought the Beatle wig and everything.
No way.
Yeah, and I lip synced. I saw her standing there, ooh. And the nun, I'll never forget, the nun was in the corner putting the 45 on, and some lady took the picture of me and gave it to my mom.
Wow.
And I had it blown up, and I still have it.
That is awesome.
So
What a great
at that
story.
age, I said I would. It was fun for me. I love to entertain.
Sure. And you haven't stopped yet
I don't think I ever will. I love it.
till you die.
I love making people happy.
Well, you make us
I love
happy
making
with the
people
things that you created for us. Now, with the poems, what got you started on that? Because you put some great thought into that.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in it. It's my passion.
Is it?
I love it. It started, I had written a poem about the Beatles.
What a surprise. You keep it very simple like I wanted. Thank you.
It was called A Beatles Story. And it was at the time that the Pittsburgh Press was on strike. They weren't delivering papers. And I said,
you mean in 1992 when I was working there?
No.
Or was it earlier? In the 70s?
It was the 70s, yes.
Okay, because they had like 3 strikes in the 70s. Because my dad worked there, and I worked there for years. I could give you some history there, but I don't want to bore anybody. So there were no papers, and you wrote a poem.
And I know there was this paper in Homestead. And I just, on a whim, I said, I'm going to send this poem in. And I did. And they asked for a photo, and they put it in. And that was the beginning of...
And they published you with your photo and gave you the credit.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I appreciate it so much, and I said maybe that's something that I would like to do because I enjoy doing it. And that's what started me in thinking, hey, maybe this is something that I would like to do. And
well, you're always trying to brighten up somebody's day with your poems. I see that. That's probably why you like our show.
I love to keep it positive. I don't delve into no negative.
Well,
I like to keep things positive.
I see that all the time, and that's why I started reading your poems from when I worked there, because they would be on the Post-Gazette, in the Post-Gazette every so often, and you're pretty consistent on it. Now, then all of a sudden, after you were on our show, somebody said, did you know Billy's on the radio?
Oh.
So what happened there? I go, no, you got to be kidding me. Not that I didn't think you could do it, but I'm like, how did? No, I am. I knew you could do it. You've talked for years. You've performed for years.
Yeah.
So I know you're fearless. But you're on the
I don't know.
Well, to a point. But you're on the radio. How'd you get that gig?
Are you speaking of the fan?
Yeah.
The fan radio?
Because that's a sports show, in case you didn't know.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
I'm noticing a trend here.
I know now. No, what happened was they had read a poem that I read in the paper, and they were talking about it. And some guy called me on the phone. He says, "Oh, the fan sports radio is talking about you." I said,
"What's that?"
About what?
Yeah.
Well, he said, you know, it would be a good idea to, would you consider writing a poem about the fan sports radio show? I said, sure, I'll do it. I said,
all they had to do is say, write a poem, you're all in.
Yeah. And
he ran.
Immediately. And I said, would you like me to frame it and send it to him? He said, no. He said, I think that appreciate it more if you put it in the paper like I do.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I got off the phone, I internet it, and got some information on what they do. I gathered all the thoughts, and I put it in the paper, and they called me up and said, thank you so much. Would you like to be on the show? I told them that I was a musician too.
Sure.
I said, would you like to be on the fan every week and sing some songs? I said, I would love to. So to make a long story short,
right,
they call me up sometime, things that are going on, the Tom Brady thing,
sure,
the Patriots.
Don't get him all fired up right
now. Yeah, they asked me, they said, would you write something about this thing?
Deflategate.
Yeah, the Deflategate, and I did. And
here's a non-sports guy who's a sports star.
I know.
He's famous.
You know what? And when people come and said, what are you doing? You know, I listened to this fan for 20 years, and you're not a sports fan. I said,
well, that's why I brought it up, because I know you're not a sports fan.
I mean, I like
a big
sports.
One. No, you're not negative against it.
I mean, no.
But
no,
it's not what you would. You might do other things like write a poem, sing a song.
I mean, in writing, Alan, a writing I can say, if you give him the information, or him or her, the person the information, they can write about it.
Sure.
Give me something and I'll write about it. So, and I love it. They're the fan radio, they're the greatest guys in the world.
You're having some fun.
Alan, I do. It's a blast.
That is great.
We laugh, you know, and they, what are they going to say? Yeah, they call me and say.
So do you go into the studio or do you talk?
No.
This is all at home.
I do it off the phone. I have an old phone.
That's even crazier.
And
he has a black phone that's one of the old ones there.
And I put the phone down and they go, okay, Billy, sound check. I said, yeah. Can you hear me?
No way.
Yeah, really.
This is another BPTV Pittsburgh Sportsline first. A phone check on an antique phone with Billy Nardozzi.
Yeah.
And luckily, a friend of yours come here. I wanted you to give a shout out to your friend that traveled over an hour.
Oh, absolutely. Bonnie over there, beautiful, lovely Bonnie. She said, I'm going to come to the Sports Expo show. She's a wonderful person. She's
and since you're a radio star, she thought we were on the radio.
Bonnie's the best. That's my dear, dear friend.
And she come out here just to see you. So that's
I
great. What a great person there.
Yes, she is.
And now she's a friend of Pittsburgh Sportsline and us too.
Forever.
So we appreciate that. You got us another like. You know we're about all those likes.
And I'm going to give you a lot more, Alan.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, you've given us enough. We got treats. we got all these things for Zach, me, the smiling man still smiling. We're having some fun. No, I'm just so thankful that you said you'd come on our show.
I appreciate it.
And you've been a great supporter of us, and we just appreciate it. And thanks for these plaques. I got to make a whole wall with my poem.
The wall
and this,
poems?
yeah, by Billy Nardozzi.
Yeah.
How do they get a hold of you if somebody is interested in poems, or when your next gig is, or what should we do there?
I have my card here.
You don't have to pay me for anything. That's okay. Put the money away. No money here. I don't know if we can get a close-up of it. Let's try.
Of my business card.
We got Devin Shea here. He's one of the best cameramen in Bethel Park.
Hi, Devin.
Did you get his card? He's checking right now.
Yeah, it is my email and my phone number.
You can say it out loud if you want.
What's that?
Say your email and your phone number out loud.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. We'll get a photo of him talking about his email and phone number.
Okay, my email on the card is billynardozzi@yahoo.com. It's BILLIENARDOZZI@yahoo.com.
All right.
And
if you want to give your phone number
my
out.
phone number. Bonnie, you want to give me? She knows.
She knows it. Do you know it? You don't call it that often. Right?
All calls are welcome. And okay.
You got to give it now. Yeah.
All calls are welcome.
Okay.
It is 412.
All right.
921-3694. Say whatever you want to say.
All right. And if you need a guy who's a poem guy, musician.
Yeah, if you need a poem written about any occasion, I'll be glad to do it. I'll write it up for you and I'll frame it for you real nice and mail it to you.
Well, you see that.
Free of charge.
How about that? Thank you. Can we donate money to you or anything?
Alan, honestly, a lot of calls that I get, people ask to compensate me for the poetry, and I say to them, in life sometimes being grateful for someone asking you to do something that I love, that's payment for me.
That ends it right there. Billy Nardozzi, one of the best in Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck in all you do.
Thank you.
I brought my little friend here because I'm a man of like 25 hats, just so they understand.
Okay, Cause.
This week we're doing Relay for Life. It is in South Park for cancer, and people with like leukemia, like each month is something different. Like
Sure.
we have,
You do a lot of fundraising. He's prolific in the area with fundraising.
I am. I love children, and there's a couple other things. But as far as Relay for Life goes, they're having their big event of the season at South Park, and they bring Washington, and Allegheny together. So it's going to be a nice event. It's from 8:30 to 11.
In the morning?
That is correct.
Okay.
And there's all kind of events.
June 27th?
That would be also, you're really good.
Well, I'm trying to help you
See,
right now.
I'm really the funny guy. I'm not sure how the other people are.
Okay.
Anyway, so.
No, you're hilarious right now.
Oh, no.
I'm laughing right in here.
Okay, welcome back, Artist. Anyway, so there's a lot of
Well, you're
events.
quick-witted, so that's why I did that. Okay, so there's a lot of events going on that day?
That is correct.
Okay.
So they have a luminary at nighttime. We honor our family members. That, like my grandfather, my best friend, died of leukemia.
Sure.
June, in the June of 1980.
Okay.
So they asked all the team captains to pick somebody, and he was my special, so I picked him. My son
That
also.
is great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
My son also was rushed to Children's Hospital, and again, they give you all the worst scenarios.
Sure.
So I also do this for my son, who fortunately is now an honor student, and everything worked out.
Great.
But they give you all the worst thing as a parent. You know how it is.
Sure,
You don't want to
definitely.
hear it. Correct. But it worked out for my benefit, for my son. So for all the people that aren't so fortunate,
Sure.
that's who I represent. And I walked 23 miles last year backwards. I got an
Backwards?
an actual red nose. That's how I became a captain.
Wow, that is fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're pulling some deep stuff out of you. You told me you're a funny guy, but this is pretty serious
No,
stuff.
this is serious, and
Yeah.
it's not about me at all. So what I do is I set up, and I have the beanbag toss, and I have a little duck pond, and
Sure.
what have you. All kinds of activities for children.
Right.
That's what's important.
Sure.
That's our future, and there's when they get sick or whatever, they look to who? You.
Sure.
Parents.
Or somebody, yeah.
Whoever.
Some adult.
An adult. That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
No,
An
that's
adult.
good. I can help you. No, I told you I would. No problem.
Yeah, don't let me drown, please.
I won't.
Please
I
don't let me
won't.
drown.
We've had enough rain, so we don't need any more of that.
That is a fact. But
Definitely.
It is really nice. So I have my meeting tonight.
Now, how do they get in hold of you for this event? Because it's a little late to do it. People can still show up or sign
No, just
up.
come to South Park.
Okay.
There's going to be signs everywhere. There's no websites. I don't do, no websites or
I know
anything.
that, but I just
It's
want to
just
know
the
where do
Ameri-
they go?
South Park.
Okay. We're at in South Park.
Wait a second. I'm going to reiterate. Now I got to shoot you. The AmericanCancerSociety.org.
Okay.
That
We'll guide you.
100%, but it's in the dead center of
Near the
South Park.
fairgrounds.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Definitely.
See, I'll help you.
I
I'm
appreciate
on your
it.
team.
I know you are.
Okay.
I know you are. I know you are.
Go to the
And
fairgrounds, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. See this guy. He's full of energy. Lou will take care of you and give you some good guidance and tips.
Absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
what else is going on? Anything else you want to talk about?
I have a lot to talk about.
Well, let's limit it to a couple things.
Yes. Ask one question to me. Any question.
Talk about something else.
Okay. Why does he get all the girls?
Because he's doing it all for Pittsburgh Sportsline, and he tells them it's his show, so it's Sweeties for Jimmy.
Okay, this is my buddy. I just have to. I admire him, and I just.
Oh, he's legendary.
I know.
That's my brother from another mother. I respect that.
We've
Because he's
heard-
helping me every day.
We've heard this before. Now, there's people.
What about it?
There's people that bring you T-shirts and cupcakes and silly hats and whatever.
Cause.
No, you're not getting my. No, that's my friend.
Okay.
Just
Take your little friend.
Okay.
I met him already, but take him.
I brought you a present.
No, please, you don't have to.
I know, but I did anyways. This is the Pittsburgh Penguin. Do you know what
Whoa.
it is?
It's, for putting your shoes on. Oh, wristband. That's great. Oh, it hurt me. I think I'm bleeding. You didn't tell me there were sharp edges.
I was going to give you the shirt off my back, and I would have gotten shot.
I didn't want it because my sister's name is Hope, and she's in Jersey. She moved to Jersey, so I appreciate the hope there. Oh, thank you.
But
I appreciate it.
Okay.
It didn't hurt long.
okay. But the other thing you happen to ask, I also support very heavily autistic and St. Jude's kids,
Right.
children downtown. I go down there and I just entertain them, and I try to make every child downtown feel wanted.
That is great.
You'd be surprised how many of the blank stares that you get. They're so lost in with the talk, and it's
Sure.
a shame. They talk so much, and instead of saying, "Hey, look at today," like you said, it's a beautiful day. Let's do something nice.
Sure.
Let's play cards.
Don't
let's
spill that water again. He's on a streak.
Is he really?
Yeah.
But as far as that.
No, that
that's
is
the-
great
that's the
because
other
they
thing.
do need that. They need interaction.
Right.
You know?
Right, and they need somebody that can roll, as in.
Well, you
not-
can roll and talk to anybody. I've seen you in action now.
That's true.
I saw you on Saturday.
I
You were
know.
even talking to people that weren't there. So he told me there'd be a huge crowd. It was me and him.
Well, you know the weather. The weather people ruined it by Thursday.
I don't blame them. It's
I-
nature. Mother Nature got us. But it was fun. I met some great people. Met the owner. You want to
He loves.
name the golf course?
John Geller owns the oldest golf course in
Western Pennsylvania.
Western Pennsylvania. He'll be going on 70 years, and it's red carpet and mini golf on 19. Great place to have your family to come out to.
On your way out towards the meadows,
Absolutely.
Smoking Jim, look to the left.
Please come by. I'd love to play you. Love to play a game of mini golf. But it's a great family place, and I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
I'm there
And
a lot.
John was a great guy talking to.
He-
I
he
enjoyed our
hasn't-
conversation.
He hasn't stopped talking about you. I'm sorry. That's all I hear. How do you know him? I said, I don't know.
Just ran into him.
I just run him over one day at Giant Eagle or something. I saw him.
I appreciate it. Well, it was good. I met people that I knew, your family. So it's a small world here. And I hung around. I got to eat hot dogs.
Oh, Uncle Shakes. Yeah,
Uncle Shakes is.
And there's a baseball story for you.
Go ahead and tell them.
I'll tell you real quick.
The short edition.
The short, right to the point. The short edition is he ran the scoreboard at Forbes Field, Chicago, Illinois, Cubs, baseball. Also have the same manual. The same manual scoreboard. He got his dream in 2011, and they got to sit in the scoreboard just like his when he was a kid.
He ran the scoreboard at Forbes Field. Yeah.
His dad did, actually.
Yeah,
So when he
and
was
he-
12 years old,
He was with them,
all the time.
which that was so cool. That's why I say he ran it.
Correct.
Because he was a runner. He was helping.
Right.
No, I appreciate your stories. Thanks for coming on our show. Thanks for all the good that you do in the neighborhoods. And we'll see what other fundraisers you have. You're welcome back anytime for a fundraiser to help promote it.
Thanks, Dan, for having me. I really am honored. Thank you so much.
And thanks for the gift.
I tell you what, back in the day when Johnny Majors, one of the greatest coaches of all time, coached Tennessee, they had Reggie White, Bill Bates, Willie Gold, and my main man, Mark Hogan.
Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Look at the camera. I'll stop talking for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Smile there. All right, you got your photo.
Okay.
How was that introduction?
That was great. Big Jim, you kidding me?
It's all true?
Smoking Joe, you get. Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I always check with him.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he embellishes a couple things, but I don't think he did here. Go ahead. Well, thanks for coming on
He's
the
a
show.
rascal. Yeah.
You can just lean
Appreciate
back a little too. It'll pick you up. Or
Okay.
if you feel comfortable,
No,
just
that's
hold.
good. That's
Either
good.
way, we're
long as it gets
flexible
me.
here.
As long as it gets
You'll be
me.
on TV. You are now, starting out.
All right.
So
So,
tell. Okay, when did you start playing sports?
well, I played Little League Baseball and
Baseball.
Yeah.
Smoking Jim.
middle school football and that sort of thing, and went right into high school.
And you stayed with football.
Yeah, stayed with football.
And you had great success.
Yeah, somewhat.
Now you told me you played a little basketball.
Oh, yeah.
We got to at least bring that up.
I wasn't much of a basketball player, but I was out there.
Well, you're a competitor. You told me with my dad, he was a referee. He said, "Did your dad do something distinctive?"
Yeah, I remember.
And he sure did. He counted
Right.
the seconds.
The way he ran up and down the court.
Yes.
And the way he counted those seconds. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
And you know he ran on his tiptoe,
Right.
hence the name Tiptoe. We had Sam Clancy on the show,
Is that right?
and he loved my dad because,
Yeah.
Sam, the Bam, was a tough guy on the court.
Oh, no doubt about that.
So, and you said you'd mix it up a little bit there, even though you didn't have the height as some of the other guys.
Yeah, 6-foot power forward. You know you're going to be fouling everybody. But I tell you what, I think he let me get away with a lot of stuff.
Well, he may not say that officially. He's up there in heaven looking down on us, and he got to be blowing that whistle right now. Either maybe you were walking or charging on that one. And how come you love football so much? Your success at it, or you just...
No, well, I grew up in a football family. My brothers played. And when I went to high school, they were always like, hey, there's Mario and Victor's brother, Fidel's brother. He's going to play too. And so I was... Yeah,
You had
I
to.
assumed I was going to play. Yeah.
You had to. There was no doubt about it.
No doubt about that.
And you worked hard at it to reach that success, too.
Yeah, I love football. Pittsburgh back in the 80s, 70s and 80s.
I know. I grew up through all that,
Yeah.
plus more.
Yeah.
60s. I might be a little older than you.
Yeah.
We'll check that later on. Now, do you have one of your best stories in football, either high school, grade school, college, pros, or anything that you want to tell?
I'm a city leaguer. Right?
Okay. Well, then tell us a city league game.
Well,
Do you have one that would stick out that you played? All right, tell us that one.
yeah.
Think-
Well, I jumped over a kid's head.
Everybody can do that now, Mark. Come on. That's what they do. They all jump over their
My foot
guy.
got caught in his face mask. And it took like a half an hour to get my foot out. 2 hours. Everybody's waiting. They have his helmet off. My foot. We're just standing there waiting around for it to so.
Unbelievable. Did you win the game?
I don't remember. We didn't win many.
Really? Well, that happens. Then what happened when you went to college?
A lot of sitting on the bench, a lot of waving at the crowd, being fed by the kids in the stands.
Really?
It's
Any
great.
hot dogs?
I'm gonna tell you, it's not as rewarding sitting on the bench, but it's a hell of a lot more fun than playing.
Nobody's hitting you?
Well, you get to sit over there and you have your buddies, and you get to talk about how much better you are than them, the guys on the field. And I think we're all, pulling each other's chain a little bit, because I'm thinking to myself, no, you're not that good. I'm sitting there, but
And you were better.
yeah, well, I always thought so.
Well, I hope so. If you got to have that confidence, especially coming from Pittsburgh,
Right? You better believe
Right?
it. Oh yeah.
there's no doubt.
Coach Majors down there, old pitch coach, but he recruited me down there to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you what did you think of him as a coach?
Oh, I thought he was great. I loved Coach Majors. Yeah.
I'm sure I got a lot of respect for him for what he's done.
Oh yeah. I used to love the Tux.
We're not talking that stuff.
No.
We got Brandy here. She was one of our best guests. She's now slipping in second place, soon to be third place. Well, Mark, I want to thank you for coming on our show as a surprise guest. Do you want anybody to try to get a hold of you? You want to say hi to anybody out there that you might have friends or family? Because this is a surprise, and you're on air now, buddy.
No, I don't.
You want to keep a low profile?
Yeah, that's what
okay. This is not Mark Hogan, somebody that looks just like him. He just showed up. Please do not contact him. I don't even know if he's on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook.
We have to be friends because then I'll scrape this off and I'll put the show on there and you can see yourself.
We'll do that.
Well, thank you, my new friend.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a pleasure.
This is somebody that won a state championship in high school. She was an All-American in high school, won 3 national championships at the University of Connecticut, and was a first-round draft pick in the WNBA. Big hand for Ashley Battles, the one and only.
Let's get a photo.
Hello.
That's all true. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And my favorite banker.
Boom.
Banker? What
I
bank?
am Fifth Third.
They're like a red-haired stepchild. They don't get much publicity. I know a
That's
few of the
true.
bankers.
That's true.
that are there.
We don't get a lot of pub.
I know. Well,
That's all right.
now that you know Ashley's there,
Come see me. Checking counts.
we're at.
East Ohio Street.
All right, that's enough of the shameless promotions.
Yeah.
What brought you down to the show?
A
Be
childhood.
honest.
I came to see smoking.
Thank you, because that helps. You know, this is Sweeties for Jimmy. We do a special edition every week.
Yeah.
But you're actually here for Brandy.
I am.
That's why I brought you up.
I am.
Because I thought that you don't have to fiddle with it. You don't want to.
You know what? I'm just gonna put that there like so, because I'm gonna represent my T-shirt in a minute.
Oh, okay. I knew you had some strategy there. Manchester. We better get a close-up. Devin Shea. Hold on. Oh, thanks, Bill.
Don't get a close up of my face, because
All
this
right.
is no makeup, no nothing.
Here, did you want to read this?
So,
Get out of here. You're beautiful.
thanks.
And you come here to see Brandy.
Yeah, childhood friends.
How long have you known her? I mean, since what grade?
Third
Third grade.
grade. And
Now that's some friendship there.
Right. We both went to Manchester Elementary School, Manchester Tigers.
Where y'all majored in recess.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they
Athletes rule
excelled
there.
at it. They
Athletes
actually
rule there.
excelled at it.
We did. The same person who helped Brandy in her career was the same person that helped me in my career
Can
as
you
well.
mention that name?
Mr. Robert Manfredo.
Thank you. That's quite a guy, has
Yeah.
a great reputation.
Absolutely.
And look at these two superstars on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Again, they reconnect on
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Yeah.
We're honored that you would come out.
I saw that Brandy was going to be doing the show today, so I mentioned that I may come out, and I don't live too far from here, so
And you snuck right past Smoking Jim. He didn't know.
I didn't even know. I snuck right in.
You did, incognito.
I tried.
Well, we appreciate you coming out. Your story, it was so great when you were on and told us about it.
No problem.
And I appreciate you coming out to like Jessica Lee's.
Yeah.
And-
Well, that's my guitar teacher, Mark Strickland.
I know.
That's my guy.
I know. When he said he knows you and he teaches you, I said, you got to have her come to our show.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's amazing.
He
you
is. He
know.
has some talent there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You think?
A lot of it.
Yeah. He has
lot
his
of
own
it.
recording studio.
I know, he's trying to get me to come in and record something. I'm nervous though.
Whoa.
It's weird, like I don't really get nervous playing,
Right.
so to speak. I don't really get nervous coaching.
You seem like a low-key type of person there.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Even keel.
even kill, you know. As an athlete, you learn you can't get too high with the highs, can't get too low with the lows, and you
How come it
gotta.
didn't work for him?
Well,
Seriously, what happened?
You know, you gotta learn to
Well,
bounce
football's
back.
life and death. That's
Every
like
possession.
Your style. I like your style, though.
You know, you gotta regroup. You gotta regroup quickly. So if there's a great play, you can't let that play affect the next play. You can't let
You
a
have to have
terrible play-
amnesia,
Yeah, absolutely.
and he does.
It sucks. It sucks.
You know
in-
that.
It
He
sucks.
does have amnesia.
Oh wow, really?
Oh, can't you tell? This is funny, and I've used this line a dozen times.
And it's just as funny as
It's
the first
fresh,
time.
Yeah, that's why I love him. You can't.
Yeah.
Thanks for being the straight person.
Can't beat that.
No, not at all. That's good stuff. Well, I'm glad you come out.
Oh, no
what about
problem.
your team? You want to talk about your team's future here?
We should be pretty good this year.
All
this
right.
upcoming
Tell them where you
season.
coach at.
Chartiers Valley.
Because if they forgot, how could you forget she's at CV?
I don't know because they don't mention us in the papers. So
Well, Pittsburgh Sportsline's at the forefront.
maybe they
Coach
wouldn't know.
Ashley Battle at Chartiers Valley.
That's it.
Watch the ladies there. Thanks for coming out to
No
our
problem.
show.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. You just sit here while we close out the show.
Okay, sure. He has a close up on this humidity face right here.
Oh, I thought he was looking at me.
No, that's okay.
It's her. Thanks for watching our show. Thanks, Devin Shea, for putting all this together. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Smoking Jim, thanks for being you and doing what you do. Everybody stay strong out there. Be Joey strong. And we'll see you next week.